as is usual. If you guys did not watch Six Cup over the weekend, you really missed out. TRAINHARD winners their roster, as you'll see it on the screen. And right now, number 7 with only 4 points. The team that a year ago we were touting as the second coming, basically.
On Villa, it feels like we cannot escape this map. But given the result that TRAINHARD had yesterday, 7-2 over BDS, impressive, but knowing that it's not really one of BDS's maps, maybe puts a small question mark over it. It really depends on the teams and their approach to seeing the Nomad ban come through. Do you know that there's going to be a gun pointing at you rather than an air jab? And is that enough disincentive? Heaven knows.
And there for VP, they actually usually get rid of a Mile on this map, but maybe they're just getting rid of the intel. That is
we spoke about Guts Gaming. I remember us casting them last week and saying on Clubhouse how defensively they were playing. You're almost seeing a similar sort of vibe coming out here with these shields being used in those reverse positions like you saw. Blaz, a player that Ace highlighted as in to make a difference, is going to step up at least in round number 1 with a headshot onto Rask, one of our resident roamers who gave Na'Vi such a headache just a couple of weeks ago. Durza with a second from below onto Milan. That's 2 of the big fraggers of VP out of action.
And the smoke over towards A. They're trying to grenade them from below, and that's a good placement, but no one's behind Bar in that particular position for now. Blaz making his presence known, and all of these holes opened up. That's going to be the death of Kajeka and Ness. He's going to have to get into the corner of Bolt. There is not enough bullets to work with here, and as a result, he will finally get taken out of commission. But I tell you what, that super reliance on the shield on that maps table, that works well if you can keep study in your hands, which they didn't, and you don't let someone drop down hatch and get dispatched up before they can rotate back up to main stage.
It's definitely just like, but you just said, Woof, what are you on about? Connector also works well, yeah. So for the fun one, for those that may have missed it on the APAC broadcast, nice headshot by the way from Blaz. Second entry in a row now as well. So can you get a second onto the stairs? Maybe not peeking it just yet, but no, someone's there, takes the risky run across. Milan doesn't quite connect the shots.
Now they're just stalling out like a deer in headlights. What do we do here? They're just letting them run into their gun sights, and this should be the kill. Good pinch finally. And now that you put Blaz on the Ash, he does work, but this is what VP wanted to do last time, Des. They wanted to be able to hold it out and force them into sight and use their utility, which is why you bring the smoke. It's why you bring the echo. That's what VP want.
Look at Durza snaking in here as well. Like stupid that we're 2 members down, one's been finished off, and in fact, even manages to recover Chaoxis. He's got no more EE1Ds left, but does have 3 flashes to play with here in the late round. The problem is you're playing against an Echo, I believe, should still have 2 cameras alive. Swings out for Chaoxis as he pushes in. VIRTUS.PRO will thrive off the chaos in the mid-round and close out round number 2, bringing us to 1 apiece.
I'm impressed. VP said, yeah, we know what mistakes we made last round. We won't make them this round. It did get down to a 2v2 in the end there. And I guess, you know, until Durza was able to pick up his teammate, a lot of passion will go down to 25 HP as well. This is a fast and furious round. And it comes down from the fact that they're doing a bottom floor hold for the C4s. I spoke about it before. They wanted C4s below. And as Durza swings, well, that HP will be his...
into 4 versus 5. They've got 90 seconds still to play. And their attacking pace is good in round 1. Here they're going to walk around a corner straight into Kajeka. And the question has to be asked, where are the drones on that front? Why jumping in through bathroom window?
I think that's the trouble with teams or players, rather, that can't take their foot off the gas and they just leave that pedal full throttle at all times, is that they will put themselves in conspicuous positions. Speaking of, thread the needle, why don't you?
Astro stairs, just daring them to come for a peek, and Chaoxis try as he might. I think he's in a spot where, although he sees the head, sadly they see his first. He's put down on the deck. Spark going to be the 4th challenger left alive for VIRTUS.PRO, and only 15 seconds in the round. Last couple of rounds have looked clinical, as you said, Jess, and I don't think there's much else to say than that. It's a flawless round for VP, and now we can consider them well and truly warmed into Villa.
Well, how ironic that half of those TRAINHARD players, or rather 2 of them, fell in bathroom, cleaned them right up. And I think putting him on the Ash here today has been a really good decision. Oh, God, wow. Jesus Lord, I just spoke him into his death. I'm to the bottom floor, and they'll have a top floor hold as well. So all of these lines of sight, now that are being opened up by VP, and WTG, double kill for him. He started off with those bullet holes.
Doing exactly the same approach onto them, and they can't seem to deal. 3 kills have come flying through, and we spoke about maybe TRAINHARD have something coming into today. Outside of 1 little consolation kill for Chaoxis, that was almost a 2nd flawless round for VIRTUS.PRO in a row.
A double kill to start things off for WTG. A double kill for, which play was it in the back of sight there as they peeked around? Was it drones? At least pre-placed drones in the prep phase that could speed up this ingress and not make it just a wild Hail Mary into main stairs.
EP with everything being considered here as well, not just the stairs itself, but also the... great grenade from Durza. We called them out in the replay. We called them out...
60 seconds to work with. What they've lost is, unfortunately, the wall's been reinforced, and Milan steps out as well. but Blaz will trade onto WTG. So this numbers advantage has worked well. And was he flashed out? I would have to say shortly.
He was. He absolutely was. He got himself swung in by a Chaos. It's a very aggressive play for Pasha to turn around and collect things back, but he runs straight into Spark, waiting for him to come pushing through the Aviator door. That's the second round I think they'll have been looking for on their attacking half, to be fair. Much better there, much more structured. More aggressive as well. I think WTG came out into 90 for the swing. Vitality and Cabana, who's sitting 5th and 6th, they're on a really good, streak at the minute of playing incredibly well. They win today, you might start seeing like a 6-point gap between Virtus.Pro and the next closest team to them. You kind of have these bottom 4 teams that are going to be scrapping, and that's as far as it's going to go.
They want in, and they want in fast, because once you have that vertical hold, you are able to do serious damage. Bait out the first C4 into Karjeka, and then guess what? Get the kill as well. Dirts is having a wild game here on whether or not it's grenades or kills from above. He knows that he can do what is needed for his team. And now they're going to be able to surely get rid of some of these shields, because there's multiple...
Too easy.
Is it?
I mean, there's an easy joke here, and that was actually a helicopter going over my house, and it was here to evac train hard for this car crash of a round that started to set up. Things not looking so good when they really kind of seem to falter, and maybe that's down to adaptability not being at its best once the strat starts falling apart. I'm not sure, but now Sparks hit the deck as well. A 4 versus 2, a 4 versus 1, sorry, no error, also got picked off. Also really struggled to warm into this game at a 1 and 5 KD as it stands so far. Blaz, arguably alongside Durs, are the only ones really having a big impact. He steps in and gets put in the dirt. Virtus.Pro with a very convincing first half. Again, some glimmers of hope for TRAINHARD, but that's all they've been for the last 2 weeks, Jess. Glimmers.
Something that you'll hear me say round after telescope at the top of astronomy there. That's going to spot out the Aruni player. And, well, that's an easy dispatch of Noera, who, as you rightfully pointed out, has
even worse. That again gets back into your mindset. It's a horrible cyclical loop that you get stuck into that never works out well for you. But WTG, after a screamer of a last game, is
paint a pretty picture of your confidence whatsoever. Oh no! Why? Why did you run in the middle of study? What were you doing?
Did they suspect they'd rotated off to go and push main stairs, or were attacking from the north?
Surely not.
Like, you always have a study player to threaten him from that angle. We know this. But Pasha is getting away with the plant. They know that study player's gone. The C4 comes out, it downs him. Doesn't quite kill him. And can they recover in time here? Another one comes out, but it hits the sofa. Milan to collect another couple of kills, make it a 3K in the round. And despite a momentary lapse, I guess, the momentary moment in which you might have seen TRAINHARD pull something back with the C4 down, absolutely not. Milan goes, don't worry, guys. We've still got this under control. And part of that maybe comes down to Karjeka being on side now as well. He obviously played that more supportive role coming out for Rogue, and here seems to be taking on some of those duties too, unlocking WTG to make things happen. Not that really need a fourth.
And he needs to confirm where he's gone. That's an easy pre-fire. The pigs will come out, and surely a teammate will get on in Piggy's exact location. Pigs on out, and there's your freebie, and that's what drones can do, baby.
They got no error in Astro with exactly the same sort of drone coming out here now. There is the Echo hanging above the 15 seconds on the clock, but I'm concerned that is not going to be enough for them. He sees the drone, sprays it out, and that should be the end of it. There's a second one to come in, but it's got to run under the feet of Rask, and he sees it and manages to stop it in time. That's going to mean that this diffuser gets committed to the ground. 5 and 2 for Virtus.Pro is looking an awful lot like 6 and 2. There's no error yet to make an impact in this game. Won't start now. Rask puts him in the dirt. Virtus.Pro 6 and 2 are staring down the barrel of their first victory of the EUL 2021 season.
Well, it's better late than never, and I know there's a few people that looked at the TRAINHARD and BDS game and went base checking things because they get that confidence behind them, but it doesn't seem to be the way. They're slowly and meticulously going through everything, cutting off those flanks below so no one can see4. Claymores in place, and that's why you need to drone. That's why you drone, ladies and gentlemen, because that can happen.
Ace's ears are burning. Blaz is burning, sorry, his way through the lineup of Virtus.Pro with 2K inside a master bedroom as well. I mean, this is what I like about some teams, is you don't sit back, you don't play on site all the time, you want to get out of the map and cause disruption. Is it risky? Yes, but when it works, my God, can it work? Because there's 3 members dead on Virtus.Pro, only about 90 seconds into the round. So much so that he's not even thinking about it just yet. Going to hold fire temporarily, and now you see the challenge coming in. If he peeks again, please peek on it. Sees the head, picks down Chaoxis as well, who's had a good couple of weeks for the side of TRAINHARD, but not going to have a massive impact here just yet.
Biggest gunners of WTG has died down in the past few rounds, and now it's the Milan show. And unfortunately for him, he is down to 5 HP, but that does not stop him, Des. This is the kind of clutch that you expect. It is now a 1v1. Dirts is on full HP. Milan on a mere 5 to 8. He would have to hit a perfect headshot here to win this.
He can't just walk through the gate either as well. Going to have to drop it down, which he has done with the utility, but it'll be be a 4K clutch back from the grave for Milan if he pulls this off to give Virtus.Pro 7-2. And round difference might not be the whole sort of thing that we look at here in the league, but no doubt it's going to be important. No! No! He walked into a second! We don't even get to see on the replay!
They don't want it replayed, mate. They said if you replay that, I swear to God.
Milan's down.
Milan, he'll have the explosive should he need to, and the rest will be history.
Oof, well, I'm glad to report the drones are working out pretty well for them as they found a way again to afford to get it wrong when it comes to putting the plant down, but otherwise you can afford to take a bit of time, and that's exactly what they'll do. Selma's starting to connect onto the wall.
They haven't opened up this critical part here, right next to statue. That's where they're going to have a big fault to work with here. Grenade will rain out. That should get rid of the Banshee, and Spark still in a really good position with his shotgun.
Oh,
you see the body, take him out. There we go. Milan finally dispatches of the key power position, and surely this player could go down. They have the verticals they need, and it is a VP showing. This is surely match point here, and yes, it is. WGG from behind will drop down into Astro, and you can see Pasha doing big cheers. Let your team and all your fans know, because that is the first full win on the board here for VP, something they haven't been able to do this stage thus far.
I know the boys are going to be absolutely ecstatic later on social media. They're going to be shouting out about how much better they feel now they've got that win on the board.
Yeah.
The best way I can describe this in one word to me is comfortable. That just looked comfortable for Virtus.Pro, I think.